Hello again, everybody. It's the 4th of October, so it's that time of year again. The hibernation process is going to start for me from this weekend. Um, I looked at the new colony today. They look quite good, actually. There are a few pupa in there, but it's a very few. I couldn't quite count because it's a bit dirty on the tube, but 4 or 5. There's a little callow in the middle there, so they are still closing. I couldn't see any eggs, but or maybe there are a few in the middle, but like I said, it's a bit difficult to see. But there is a lot of larvae in there, and they've really stopped eating and mostly spend all their time in the test tube. The flavus, yes, again, there's a few pupa in there, a few more pupa because they're a bigger colony, but they're still not masses. It's not like they're all stacked up against a wall somewhere. And again, they've got a lot of larvae, especially a lot of small larvae I saw with the flavus. I don't know why they prefer to take that size of larvae through hibernation, but whatever. Yes, both queens are okay, huddled up quite close to each other right down the end of one of the corridors. So again, they're starting to huddle, but they are still actually quite spread out because there are flavus in the original nest, which they'd moved out of, but they're now sort of moving back and expanding over both nests. But there's no brood in there. So yes, what I've done is I've taken all of them into the sort of a back room that doesn't have any heating, and I have the window open in there basically, so it tends to more reflect the outside, but it's not going to get to the actual temperature of the outside. It's 17 in there at the moment, which is great, and I looked and it was 22 in the front room where they've come from, so they've dropped 5 degrees. The original main colony, the one that's lost their queen, they're really small in numbers now. I showed this before, it's very similar. I probably will put them into hibernation and then just keep them getting colder and colder, probably ending up with a freezer because there's no real point anymore, sorry. And then yes, I'm always a bit sort of sad at this time of year because you stop ant keeping now for what, 4 or 5 months. I'll leave them, and what this does is it leaves this empty space on my desk. But yeah, I'll leave them in that back room now for the rest of October, maybe 3 weeks perhaps, and then put them into the fridge for the last week of October, with the fridge at a very high temperature, as high as it will go, which means it tends to be on about 12 to 14 when I've got it just turned on, and then dial that down over the couple of weeks into November. But yeah, I've done videos on hibernation before. You know how it all works. I like to give them this period, like a good 3 weeks at least, just so that they can fully get those pupae closed and stop laying eggs and things like that. Anyway, until next time, goodbye everybody.